Hello and welcome to the North America Gaelic Football Podcast, the home of Gaelic football here in North America. I'm your host, Gareth McAlinton, along with our co-host, Limerick's finest, Connor Green. Before we get started, just a quick shout out to our sponsor, Nasita, who have been the official sponsor of the USGA since 2017. Nasita are one of Ireland's leading manufacturers of sports kits and teamwear, and they get dedicated to supplying GA clubs around the world with quality gear and top-class service. So if you are interested in getting involved with Masita for the upcoming season, feel free to give us a shout. We'll get you on the Des and the team to take care of your needs for the season. So without further ado, let's welcome Steve Henry. Steve is the owner of Gaelic Mystery Kits. Steve, what's the crack with you?
Hello, boys. How's it going? Crack's good. Happy man today after the weekend. Just so you can see my red face, I was in Clonus yesterday. It's called it. But yeah, good day now.
Come on.
Well, we actually, myself and Connor were talking a little bit yesterday about the game. I'm not sure if it was very noticeable on the field where you boys were sitting in the stands, but I guess a big controversial topic has been the colour clash of the jerseys.
No, we didn't even notice it now, and that's me. I'm actually colorblind. I would struggle at the best of times with jerseys. Like whenever I was playing, like that would have been a nightmare for me.
Yeah.
But I suppose the red shorts and the white shorts helped a wee bit. But no, it didn't seem to come across. Maybe
Yeah.
because you were maybe a bit further away watching it on the TV. Probably was it was a bit blurry. I'm not sure, but no, there wasn't much talk about it now. So they
Discovered
are.
an interesting loophole there yesterday from the game. The Derry fella got the black card there towards the end of the game.
Brian
And
Rogers. Yeah.
discovered that black cards carry over into extra time, but red cards and yellow cards still don't.
Mhm.
So they'd have nearly been better off if he got sent off for that, which I thought was hilarious because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely something that you would want to look at because well, if he got sent off, obviously it would have been worse for him, but. They were down a man for 8 minutes of extra time. They would have been 15 against 15.
Mhm.
So just an interesting one. I was saying it to the boys there. Just make sure if it's the end of a final, make sure it's a red. Tell us a bit about yourself and your involvement with Gaelic football.
Yeah, so originally I'm from Ballymcguigan in County Derry. So we're a very small club, Lochshore, but have some very famous names. Jim McKeever and Eamon Coleman, who was the Derry manager whenever Derry won it back in '93. So that's the club I'm originally from, and played all the way through up to senior or intermediates for my whole career at senior level, and then married a girl down in Derry Traston here in Armagh. So I've switched allegiances to living in Armagh and joined Sarsfields, just to kind of get to know the lads. Traveled up and down to Ballinwigan for a few years, but it was a lot of travel for training and matches and stuff up in North Derry, and just decided, sure, we'll try and get to know the lads here instead of just being a blow-in. And that's about 6 or 7 years now. Been knocking about a bit of football, a bit of reserves here for Sarsfields, and it's been good crack. Played cornerback for Ballinwigan and joined Sarsfields, and they asked me where I played, and it was half forward. Corner forward was my answer to them, and got a new lease of life playing a bit of reserve football. So not so much now since the kids have come along, but yeah, still keeping GAA ahead now.
It's training to be good crack this week anyway.
Yeah, I'd keep the head down, so it absolutely will. There's a Derry flag flying in our front garden, so it hasn't been burnt yet. But no, it's the lads take it. I think that there's good banter between Armagh and Derry. Like there's no real bad blood between the two counties, so hopefully they'll take it with a pinch of salt today.
And I think there's definitely a bit of respect with the actual level of football. I mean, look at the game that was played yesterday. Like just two fantastic footballing teams. No like dirtiness, no real like,
No.
real like you've seen obviously the Armagh Galway game got a little out of control at the end of the game, but there was none of that really. It was hard hitting. Like
No.
Armagh's always going to be known. Armagh's always going to be known, especially under McGeeney, as like a physical, like hard to break down team. But no, it was great to see. It was a great display of football for everyone. I mean, for the neutral, myself,
Yeah,
Connor.
yeah.
especially a lot of American people watching in. It was a great display, great performance. So just to move on to the next question then. So what inspired you to to start the Gaelic football mystery kit business? Because it seems to be kicking off.
Yeah, it has. We've been very, very busy. So I had saw it last year. A friend of mine, we both had saw there's a lot of soccer mystery kit versions of this same idea knocking about, and I was chatting to him over the summer, and we got each other a jersey just out of pure curiosity, just in anticipation of what you could have received. And I think I got a big luminous orange Porto jersey, and he got a Sweden top from the Euros in 2016, and like you didn't know where it was going to come from, and I chatted to him and said, surely there's a market here for Gaelic jerseys. You have so many club teams within one county, and you have county jerseys, you have clubs abroad like yourselves, like the market I've tapped into and the clubs that I've been talking to in America and in Europe and in Asia and Australia that we've got started. It's phenomenal, like how many teams there are out there. So I just thought I love GA jerseys. I think personally GA jerseys are much nicer than soccer jerseys to begin with. I love the fact that there's like the tribalism of your club, like whenever people are taking orders from us, or we're getting orders from them, they're saying, well, we don't want the team down the road, so don't send us that, or we don't want our next door neighbours, the county. I'm not going to say, but Tyrone definitely gets a hard touch in the comments. Nobody wants a Tyrone or a Dublin jersey. Would be our max. The thing that we're getting told the most, and it's been brilliant. Jessica and I are both teachers, so we get the girls to bed at night time, and then 9 p.m. is clock-in time for getting jerseys boxed up and shipped out and certificates written. So it's a really nice busy. It's a great problem to have, and long may it continue.
Can you explain for someone who's not familiar with the mystery kits how Gaelic mystery kits works?
Yep, absolutely. So we have a website, GaelicMysteryKits.com. You would go onto the website, you pick your size. We have player fit, we have standard fit, we have ladies fit, we have kids as well. You choose your size that you want, and then when it comes to the checkout, you type into the notes section. You can say jerseys you want to avoid, like I mentioned earlier. If it's your rival team down the road, if it's a county you would prefer not to have, maybe it's a jersey you already own, because obviously I know so many people own jerseys of other counties and maybe have a load of their own club, own club or county jerseys. So we'll take all that on board, what to avoid, and then we'll send you a surprise jersey packaged up in a nice presentation box. There's a certificate with it telling you who the club is, who the county or college. And the feedback's been brilliant because people have messaged back with the reviews saying it was lovely. We sat down with our young children. They researched the club they got to find out a little bit of history about who they were, what they've won over the years, and that's really nice, to hear that kind of feedback from the customers. So that's the whole idea, and everybody loves a surprise. You love that whole unboxing thing that you see on social media now and on YouTube. People are really, really intrigued what's going to be inside.
Well, talking about the surprises and unveiling, myself and Connor have our own Gaelic
Yep,
mystery
you do
kits
indeed.
of ourselves.
Imagine
So,
that. What are
so
the chances?
what are the chances of that, lads? Huh?
Who's one
So,
I made earlier?
we're so Connor, if you want to bang out first.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what this is going to be now. Looks like a famous club, the Worcester Fenians. Thanks for that, Stephen.
You're very welcome.
Goalkeeper jersey. Love it.
All right. And then
Yes.
nice box, by the way. Love the box, how it comes in, nice tidy.
Thank you.
Love that. And I notice is it all recyclable material? Even the tape?
Yep, it is indeed. So Obviously the cardboard box recyclable. We have our packaging recyclable as well, and then probably the only thing would be the little t-shirt bag that it comes in, but it's reusable. We try to have as small a carbon footprint as we can. Um, but yeah, so Des and Masita had a hand in the choice of your jerseys too. So I heard you mention him at the start of the show. He is who I've been dealing with a lot. He'd have been phenomenal to deal with. Um, Getting jerseys, random jerseys, from clubs, and they said, "We'll send these out to the lads, see what they think of them." One of our videos last week there, they sent us out a box of Masita jerseys, 50 jerseys in a box. Even I didn't know what would come in, and it was like a huge unboxing video for me. It was really exciting. So obviously the customers get that same feeling too whenever they're opening up theirs.
So I'm actually just opening the box now, and I'm actually just looking at the jersey, the quality USGA jersey. And what I actually notice on them as well, it actually has the clubs on the jersey written on them.
Lovely.
So you can probably see the print.
See that.
Oh, really nice jersey. And Masita do phenomenal jerseys. I have to say, for designs, their designs are on point, and the quality of the jerseys absolutely fantastic. These things they're breathable, they're light, they're
Mhm.
they're very, very good quality jerseys. So I mean we've been very impressed with Masita's jerseys, their equipment. We use them for our home club. They've been really good to us. So we have our own club shop as well. They've been very helpful. And just to add, you know, uh, we will also have an upcoming episode. It'll actually be our next episode. Will be Masita. So you'll be able
Oh,
to
brilliant.
see
Okay.
more about Des and the team. It'll be Des and Stephen that'll be able to talk more about, their roles and more about the jerseys as well. So that'll be an upcoming episode.
Brilliant. I'll definitely be listening to that one now.
Yeah. So Stephen, can you talk a bit about some of the challenges you're facing now since starting up the business?
Yeah, well, the initial problems maybe we would have had were, say custom, were delaying jerseys maybe arriving because we're based in the north, obviously, and initially we were using the Royal Mail, so it was going from north to south, going through customs. Maybe jerseys were being delayed a wee bit longer than we had anticipated. We've since moved to a courier service, so they're straight over the border to the person's house. Once we get it dispatched, it takes us a couple of days sometimes to get them out the door. Busy enough schedule with, like I said, we're both working full time, so our evenings are trying to get those out the door with the kids. Knocking about sometimes, but the courier service has just completely changed it. We have uh, got jerseys to people within 3 or 4 days, whereas it was taking maybe 2 weeks. Like I remember we got one jersey arrived in Canada quicker than one jersey arrived to a lad in Offaly. That was crazy, to think that was uh so that was the initial problem.
Couriers deliver to Offaly. I thought I wouldn't have thought they'd bother going into Offaly. No, there's no money. There's no money to be made there.
Offaly, we've some very very keen jersey collectors in Offaly now. It's down south definitely. It's really kicked off. People love the idea, love the product, um, and it's now starting to reach out to the likes of yourselves in America. We had funny. I just had an order on Saturday from a guy who plays for Atlanta, Planet Gales, and it's actually one of the jerseys we're going to feature um, in the next couple of weeks, as we have quite a few American jerseys coming. We have the box that arrived from Days last week as well from Masita to work through. So um, initially it was really just the customs, and then people would have been very specific with what they were asking for, and maybe it was very difficult to try and track down an exact jersey that wasn't from a certain, maybe they're saying we didn't want a club in Ireland, we didn't want a club in the UK, and you have to meet that as best you can within their size. It's hard getting sizes for some of the jerseys from abroad, but we're doing okay. We're ironing out all the creases as we go.
So how important has social media been for promoting your business and reaching a wider audience, from even here to Australia. I see you guys are sending all over the world.
We are, yes. Without social media, we'd be lost, I think, really, because it's been our main platform for getting our name out there, and it's just snowballs. We we kind of targeted, social media influencers, people who had connections in the GAA with bigger followings than our own, and you get in touch with them if they're kind enough to reply to you. You ask them, would you like a jersey? Would you mind doing a video for us, popping it up on your social media platforms? And if they have done, it snowballed from one person to the next. And that's been fantastic. We now are reaching out to Australia. We're in America, Canada, Europe, and we had jersey out to Dubai as well. So it's not just in Ireland, and you wouldn't have been able to reach that audience without the likes of Instagram, and I've even I've even ventured into TikTok. My primary 7 class, like they're 10 and 11. I'm getting tips from them on how to expand the business. And you need to be using the hashtags, Mr. Henry, and you need to um, tag such and such a person, and they're streets ahead of me when it comes to that. But it does seem to be making a difference. Yeah.
So can you talk a bit about some of the people that you've sent mystery jerseys to? Any notable characters?
So one of the first people we sent out to was a lad who runs the Junior B Instagram page, and he would be interviewing people outside matches and stuff. So messaged him
Yeah,
first, and
Junior B things.
yeah, Junior B, yeah, and he
Oh,
got
yeah.
one, and then there was a fella down in Mayo, Kieran O'Malley, had one as well. He does the Big News podcast with Alan Clark, and he had a jersey sent out to him, which then snowballed to Louise Cody. She's Class Cody on Instagram. And when Louise got her jersey, she got a Paris Gales jersey. You'll see it on our Instagram. Like, it just exploded for us. I think we had 25 orders that night just after her video dropped, and we had 50, 60 orders that week alone. Um, and it's been excellent that way. One of the there's a girl, Ellie, who runs Cormac McAnallen's over in Sydney. She runs the social media for them. She messaged, she said, saw your videos, fantastic. Would you mind if I shared it on our social media platforms? I was delighted. Yes, absolutely. Do whatever you can. So we came to an arrangement. She sent out one of the Cormac McAnallen jerseys to us in exchange for a jersey for herself, which was very clever. So that's arrived in Australia for her, and we sent out was a Care in County Tipperary jersey sponsored by the two Johnnies, in the hope that it might reach their eyes and their massive platform there in Ireland. So you can only hope, you can only take the chance, and they see it, fantastic. That's really what we're hoping for. I was very, very lucky actually at the very start, the first weekend that we launched. I text into 2FM every morning for their radio show quiz, and I got on the quiz that morning, the Monday, on 2FM with Donncha O'Callaghan and Darren and Carl, and I did terrible. I only got one question right. You could have got 10 grand if you got 10 answers right in 1 minute. And they said, what would you have spent the money on if you had won? And then I just took the opportunity. I said, well, funny enough, we just have started a new business this weekend. And it's like, oh, tell us more, free publicity, go for it. And again, that took the opportunity to give the business a plug. And we had orders through before I was even off the phone. And the social media following trebled that morning. So I was late to school, but it paid off in the end, for sure. What can you do?
Very good. Yeah, you just have to think outside the box sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, you just have to take those
no pun
opportunities
intended.
whenever you get them.
So can you share some of the plans and ideas you have for the future? Maybe some things you're thinking, projects that are coming up.
Absolutely. So we're trying to work out in our heads how we could create a stall, be at an event, for example. It's difficult in the sense that you're boxing up a load of jerseys. Once the lid closed, you're like, what's in it? But the word games are coming up here in Derry, and I've been speaking to some of the organisers in it. We're hoping to be involved in somehow, in some capacity. If we have a stall, I've suggested that maybe we could sponsor a match ball, player of the match, something like that, And so we're in communication with them, and it's on our doorstep. It would be such a missed opportunity if I didn't try and get up there. There's talk that we might try even looking into like even just pre-owned jerseys, pre-loved jerseys, maybe like a cheaper option for people and maybe don't want to spend as much. Maybe you would get a higher volume of jerseys from even years ago. Like I've seen jerseys with like the old GA crest, which is, really retro now. You wouldn't have thought what you'd have been wearing yourself playing football is now deemed as retro, but I mean, that's comes with the territory with the age that I am now. But that's an idea that we have. And then after speaking to likes of LA, speaking to teams in America, teams in Canada, we might look into some way of maybe having an order night through a club. So maybe creating a link. So instead of sporadically sending a jersey out to customer in America, maybe a team is going to become involved and say, here's a link to Gaelic mystery kits. We'll post it out to the club, and they can go and pick them up. We're trying to see how we can navigate posting to across the pond, and speeding it up a little bit, and then obviously lowering the costs of postage and packaging for customers as well. So that's the plans over the summertime when we get our summer holidays. We're hoping to look into those projects as such.
That's brilliant. And you talked about the World Games there. That is such a big opportunity because I can speak for and Connor will agree with me. The US, the American kids, they love the jerseys. And it doesn't matter. Like one of the boys on our club, he has Connor's home jersey, Ballybricken. He's one of their jerseys running around, Connor, it's not the most beautiful jersey. I'm sorry. But you know what?
Patrick's gonna be very angry at
that's I'm not a fan of the colors. But but he loves it. A lot of the American kids love that stuff. They love the word proud because they're like, I am actually part of something here. I'm part of the Gaelic football community here. And when people go up and ask them what it is, like if they're, let's just say they're a college, they're at one of the colleges and they're walking around with a Ballybricken jersey. Who the hell's that? And it's like, oh, that's a Gaelic football hurling team that's in Limerick. It's like, no way, I want one of them. So it's such a niche market that hasn't really been tapped into yet, and I think you really have something there that can be grown. And I think you have a great concept there, and the both of us wish you all the best and all the success in it because I think you have something great.
In the last 10 years or so, there's really been I remember when I was a child. Now, you'd only really have your club jersey or your county jersey, but in the last 10 years or so, there's really been an uptick of young kids wanting to get random jerseys from God knows where. It doesn't matter who the club are. It could be a club out in Asia or something like that. So I think the whole idea is.
We went to Drummondtown, the summer camp every year, and then in your age, you're not far away from where you're from, Gareth. And at the end of the week, it was, can I swap my jersey with you? And that was an idea that has stuck with me from a child. And like you're saying that there's somebody in America running around with a club jersey from Limerick, but it's the same here in Ireland. The kids are loving. We have Wolf Tones as the neighbouring club down the road. And there's kids now at the minute having taken orders from us with Detroit Wolf Tones, Montana's hurling Wolf Tones team, with the Chicago, the Boston team as well. It goes both ways, and that's, we're hoping that the American audience and market will appreciate getting an Irish club jersey, and then the Irish customers here are loving the jerseys from abroad. That's really what they're most passionate.
Has there been a specific jersey that people has been requesting the most?
No, not necessarily. No, they all really bought into the fact that it's random. There's a few ladies in work. They've said, "I'm gonna buy one for my husband. Can I pick it?" And it's been hard to say no to them because how do you say no to a sale? But it's still, I suppose it's still a mystery for the husband who's getting the jersey. But they that's the only thing. No, everyone's buying into the whole novelty of that it's a surprise. You don't know what you're getting, but they know what they don't want. They're very specific and do not send me X, Y, Z.
And probably one thing that they're requesting is like, I would like a certain color or like a pattern. Like, so let's just say I want something that's like maybe blue or red. Has that been something that's been?
Yeah, some people are saying something nice, bright and colourful was one of the mentions, and then somebody says they really love a black jersey. So if you've anything in darker colours, would be some of those things that you mentioned. But it's more so the counties and clubs to avoid. Really, that's where we're getting most of our requests from. So it does help that way.
So Stephen, what do you hope that customers can take away from their experience with Gaelic football or Gaelic mystery kits?
I suppose I want them to take away the fact that they know that GEA is so wide reaching. It's in every corner of the globe, and getting a team jersey from the other side of the world is very exciting. Um, I think it's a brilliant present. It's a brilliant gift idea for GEA mad kids, adults. It's a really good go-to for a parent or partner who's really struggling for a present or a gift. We had ran like promotions for communion and confirmation there recently, so that was a really good market to kind of tap into. But just basically a GA message, that it is all around the world. It's a fantastic sport. It's a fantastic thing to be a part of. And when you get that little piece of GA from somewhere that you're not aware of or somewhere you've never heard of, and you can maybe take the time to go and research who that club is or where the county is and learn a little bit more about them. Kind of like a pen pal version of a jersey from someone far away. I don't know really.
I think there's nothing like that here in the US. Even for like I know this is big in other sports back in like the UK and Ireland, soccer.
Hmm.
There's nothing really like that for here. Even like when you think of the amount of college basketball teams or football teams, or there's nothing like that here. So I think
Yeah.
I think when as the GAA continues to grow here, there's more and more American junior clubs popping up left, right, and center.
Hmm.
From Milwaukee to Denver to Seattle, like all over the US and Canada and Mexico City now. Mexico City has a GA team. Even you've got the
Right.
Cayman Islands too. It's, I mean, it's gotten
Hmm.
so far stretched, which is phenomenal, and possibly maybe even get you should maybe look into a stand for nationals, August, what is it, August 16th, Connor, 17th? So,
The weekend of August 18th through 20th.
yeah, so
Well,
hey,
funny, I am on
Yeah.
summer holidays. That's good. And Daz actually
yeah.
asked it, was I right thinking about it and thinking of heading out, and I asked, well, are you offering to fly? You offered to take me, with Masita, but that you can only dream. It definitely could be on the cards for maybe next year. We'll see how we grow it here over the summer, and that will be fantastic. You were mentioning there Cayman Islands.
Well,
We'll be featuring them very very soon. Hopefully we have a jersey of theirs coming. I was even chatting to Colo in Hawaii, the Hawaii hurling. That it's even as far as
yeah.
hurt as Hawaii as well. Um, so it's been brilliant to talk to all of these clubs, and you're doing that anyway. You're messaging the clubs, you're asking them for permission. Would you like to be featured in our mystery kits? And the response has been so positive. Everybody is just so delighted and appreciative that you're even just reaching out to them. Um, but it works both ways. I'm so appreciative of them giving me the opportunity to showcase them, and the opportunity you lads are giving me here is brilliant. Like I said, sent you a message. You were more than accommodating. Absolutely, come on ahead. We'll talk about it, and that's fantastic. I really want to thank you both for giving me this platform.
All right, we have a North America Gaelic football jersey too, so just just saying.
I should have had one on.
Uh,
I didn't plan this out. I didn't think this through properly.
we'll make sure we have Des send you one up for you, all right?
Yeah, no, sounds good.
So we want to say thanks to Stephen. Be sure to check out Gaelic mysterykits.com. Best wishes, best of luck to you, Stephen. Thanks to our sponsors, Masida, as always. And thanks to everyone that's listening out there. If you like this episode, do us a favor and give us a like, subscribe, comment, follow, whatever you can do. We appreciate it. And thanks, and we'll see you next time.